Emily is in Birmingham. Hey, Emily, welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, thanks, Dave.
What's up?
My husband and I are having a little disagreement. I'm hoping you can help us out.
Okay.
I recently came into a little bit of inheritance after losing both my grandparents this last year.
I'm sorry.
And thank you. We have two debts, one being our mortgage and then the second being our car. And my husband wants and feels that the money should go towards the car, and I am just viewing it as a little bit more sentimental and wanting it to go towards something a little bit more sentimental. And I'm wondering, is that incorrect to kind of view the money as kind of like a final gift, and should I just kind of take away the emotions and just go towards debt? So
you want to buy something with it?
Well, yes. Like I'm needing a new suite of appliances. All of mine have kind of been around for way too long, and I'm hardly working in the first place. So, and my grandmother's the one that taught me how to cook. So for me, that would be kind of a more final gift, I guess I would say. But my husband is like, hey, if we have the extra money, let's put it towards the car and get that paid down.
Okay. How much money is involved?
Just under $9,000.
Okay. All right. Well, I analyze these things through the sentimental lens as well. And the way I would ask myself this is, okay, Grandma was obviously good with her money. Thus, she left her grandkid and kids $9,000, okay? So Grandma's sitting in heaven looking at her grandbaby. What makes her smile because her granddaughter did this with the money? I'm not thinking a dishwasher does that. Now, I get the tie-in to she taught you to cook. I might take $1,000 and buy some cooking utensils so that every time I use that set of pots and pans or knives or whatever that I thought of Grandma, and I might put the rest of it on the car. But I think Grandma probably was somebody that hated debt, and she might be smiling if you paid off the debt. I got to agree with your husband.
Okay.
But it's not. I'm not doing that through the lens of I'm calling your sentiment silly. I'm just saying. I'm just saying your sentiment. You can actually use that to try to say, okay, this. You know the character of this woman. She was a frugal person, a saving person. She was careful with her money. My guess is she hated debt. Does that sound familiar? I mean,
oh yes. They paid off all debt, and they owned real estate and made it pretty much as their retirement fund.
Yeah. So I mean, I think she'd be smiling if you paid off your car, but I also think she'd be smiling if you'd spent $1,000 on some stuff to use in the kitchen. I get that. Let's balance this out a little bit. Yeah. How much do you owe on the car?
We still have about, I think, $24,000 to $25,000 left on the car.
What's your household income?
So it wouldn't pay it off. It would just put a dent in it.
What's your household income?
Right under 6 figures a year.
Okay. All right. Well, it's all going to get taken care of pretty soon anyway. So more than anything, it's just an emotional discussion. As long as you don't... what would Dave and Sharon Ramsey do? We would look at it through the lens of what is wise, and that would also be pleasing to Grandma. And so I probably would buy, I'd probably say, Sharon, let's go get a really high-end, amazing set of cooking pots and pans and knives or whatever. Drop $1,000 on it. I don't know, something like that. And then let's throw the rest of it at this in honor of grandmother, because I think she'd be smiling about both things. I think you're honoring her life, her tradition, the way she thought and believed, and that is sentiment, and that's a reasonable sentiment. So you do whatever you want to do. That's just the way I think through it, and now you've got an added argument, a third idea thrown on the table. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.